Welcome to What's New in Trimble Business Center Area Photogrammetry for version 5.6. In this video, we want to show the changes made to the user interface, simplifying the workflow. Our goal for version 5.6 was to create a clean left to right approach. Let's take a quick look at what happened from 5.5 to 5.6. So we restructured the photogrammetric ribbon, removing some functions which are less related to a standard drone processing run. So you can see we removed the group photo station part in the setup. Then we also moved the advanced US functionality into our create deliverables, which are also partly covered through the functions of creating a point cloud, creating a raster, and creating auto mosaic. So all these functions, they cover similar processes, and so we unified these four into one create deliverables. And the adjust photo stations was expanded into adjusting photo stations where you don't have a ground control point, but you have high precision GNSS, so you can just run the whole process just here with this one functionality. And if you want to enhance with ground control points, also here the adjust photo stations with GCPs. So in general, we really want to enhance the step-by-step process from left to right. So you start with the coordinate system to import your data. If you have multiple flights, you can merge them. If you have, in this case, trajectory data and the necessary base station data, then you can run here's baseline processing. Then you adjust the photos, then also you add your ground control points, and then you can create your deliverables. So it's really a very simple and clean step-by-step approach from left to right. Additionally to the user interface, we also changed the user experience, which means when you start to define your coordinate system, the create deliverables will be grayed out, and also the adjust photo stations with GCPs is grayed out, because you need first to run previous processing steps that they make sense. So we try always to track what is your current state of the orientation, how are the images orientated and connected, and then always we take care that you can then run the other steps. If not, they will be grayed out. Similar also with the baseline processing. So if you do not have the necessary baseline processing data, then you cannot access it and they will be grayed out. Next, the second part that is new in 5.6 for area photogrammetry are the true orthophoto deliverable options. Trimble Business Center now offers, additionally to already existing point cloud generation tools, now also the possibility to create very detailed point clouds and true orthophotos. They are very common for urban city mosaics, where you really want to see very well into the roads, into the pathways and walkways. So this is one of the major part that comes with this technology. So the technology is enhancing the building edges additionally, making them sharper, cleaner, and therefore for urban city mosaics with a very good solution. Which means we can then measure afterwards all the data that is besides the building. So poles, trees, anything that is close to a building where the building is not leaning anymore into it can easily be accessed. Additionally, also the semi-global matching technology is trying to select in a smart way the models so that we can exactly get this very accurate model that is then used for the true orthophoto generation. In this example here, we show additionally also that the texturing of the orthomosaic is then coming from the optimal resolution of our level 0 image for the true orthophoto itself. The mesh, the textured mesh that we see here in this screen, this is optionally also possible to be done in US Master. We don't have this solution now in Trimble Business Center because also this is more for visualization at the moment. So accessing the data also then to edit the mesh, the textured mesh, or changing something to the textured mesh. This is now not part of it. But if you are interested into a textured mesh, then you can just send your data to US Master and run here this process and generate a textured mesh in different very common formats that can be used worldwide everywhere, in cesium format, in OSGB format, and also in Esri SLPK format. But what I wanted to here emphasize is this is now the bread and butter that is used to generate the true orthophoto, to have these clean and sharp edges of the buildings. As a lookout for the future, this is a perfect deliverable, for example, for recognition. Having a true orthophoto, you can then run image analysis parts where you can very well detect then features in these true orthophotos. So taking a look at the true orthophoto now here, we can then see here very nicely into all aspects of our city. It's a very time-consuming process. So therefore, again, look at it. It's another tool that you have in Trimble Business Center aerial photogrammetry. You can still run the very fast and reliable digital terrain model approach for very large parts, which is very fast. Then you can still run the well-established digital surface model approach that we have already in Trimble Business Center from the previous versions. And now you have additionally also this option to create for urban mapping here through orthophotos. Okay, so let's take a look how this looks in practice. So we have here Trimble Business Center 5.60. We create a new project, which is here in US Survey Foot. And again, as we mentioned, in the simplification, or really to guiding through from left to right, if you go to the photogrammetric tab, you see the first step is changing the coordinate system. And this is where you can select from predefined coordinate systems here already. Or if you want, you of course can search from this large variety of Trimble Business Center coordinate systems and zones here. So there is really no limit for this part, how you can then use here in Trimble Business Center the correct coordinate system. Next part is now getting the data into Trimble Business Center, and this is as also in 5.5, and we think a very simple solution. It's just hitting the import DJI UAV data button, and the only thing you need to do is navigate to the folder where all your images are located, and we are scanning this folder. We are searching this folder and looking if there are some trajectory data included. We are looking if there are, in this case, also files for the baseline processing included. And therefore, all the information inside the images of the EXIF tags and XMP tags, they are scanned in this way. And therefore, we will then take care and use this information to prepare our data, so that really the only thing you need to do is really just select the folder. Then we just summarize and show this is now here a DJI Phantom 4 RTK data camera. We can just say OK, and then the import starts. After the import is done, then we just summarize and show what we scanned in the data. So there's this report file, and we can look at the report file and see we have RTK flag 50 data, which is a high precision data. So we are hopefully smart enough then now to recognize, okay, when we go now through the processes, we will use this RTK data automatically to improve our results. So we can go again from left to right, and we don't have now a baseline processing, So we just go to the adjust photo, and you see that adjust photo stations with GCPs and deliverables is not accessible. It's grayed out. So we try really to guide you and to show you, okay, this is now the next step to run what you need to do. Or you can also download from the internet stuff, and then with the internet download and the necessary Rhinex files, we can also run a baseline processing. But for us, we will run the adjust photo stations, and we will additionally also run after the relative adjustment an absolute adjustment, because we know that we have RTK flag 50 data. And this will then be automatically done. So really, again, guided from left to right in a very simple way. You don't need really to take care for too many things. We try really to bring you from left to right. And as soon as we finish the adjust photo stations, we will then see that the adjust photo stations with GCPs and the create deliverables, they will become active and available. So this is this user experience that we want to help you to make it easy, so that you really can just with a few clicks get with your drone data through the Trimble Business Center processing. After the successful process, we can apply the adjustment, and now you can see in the photogrammetric ribbon, now we can access the adjust photo stations with ground control points and also the create deliverables. So we will not take a look at the report, we already have taken a look before. And the good thing is, as we know that we use the RTK 50 data, that's why we can also access the deliverables now with a high precision. So as we have now an absolute adjustment, which you can see here in the status. If not, you would see the relative adjustment, and then you could measure the ground control points to get this. In this video, we will not measure additionally ground control points, but adding ground control points always is helpful. You can then calibrate the focal length better. But for us, we want to focus on what's new in Trimble Business Center aerophotogrammetry, and this is where we come now to the second part, which is in the deliverables, the possibility to measure our digital surface model with a high quality. And therefore, we will start the deliverables now and take a look at the new option. And you can find it in elevation type. Besides all the already existing well-established digital terrain model and digital surface model, we now added the digital surface model high quality. And it's the same behavior. So again, you choose the elevation type, how to generate the point cloud. And then you choose if you want to create a point cloud, if you want to generate the true orthophoto from it. And therefore, it's really as you are already used to work with, just from top to bottom. Now, of course, you can also again define a boundary to limit the output to a specific area. If you have multiple flights, you can choose the flights from the flight mission part. So this is really no problem. Also, the digital surface model is using the same technology as already in 5.5. So therefore, it's very easy in this case here to run your previous steps. The only thing really is now new, the digital surface model highest quality. And selecting the elevation type, you can choose then from the quality, from a low, medium or high quality. And therefore then this will then run on a different pyramid level, and therefore also with a different resolution of the points that are generated in this digital surface model. And if you want to know what exactly you can process from these different steps, then you can just simply hover over the resolution outputs that are below of the digital surface model. So these are the two major differences. And again, the left to right approach with a much cleaner and guided way through the photogrammetric ribbon. And then we added still the measure photo point and send to US master options in case you need to do some single point measurement or you need to evaluate the data in more depth with the graphical analysis tools that are given from US master, editing the point cloud, creating the textured mesh. So all these more in-depth parts or special solutions, they are still available in US master, and we are working to implement some of these functions more and more into the Trimble Business Center aerial photogrammetric part, so that you can also benefit in a simple way all of these new cool stuff that is also available on the US master side. We hope these improvements help you to be more effective and to work easier with drones in Trimble Business Center aerial photogrammetry. Have a nice day and goodbye.